Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Locum23 and you're joining me for a very important video, one of which discusses autism, Behcet's disease, and CBD. For those of you who know me, know that I raise two special needs brothers, one of which has both conditions, and let's just say, a lot of days, it's a nightmare. So for those of you who don't know, Behcet's disease is a very rare disease in which it does a lot of damage to your body. Behcet's disease can cause skin and genital lesions, joint swelling, horrific migraines, headaches, brain aneurysms, clotting issues, gastrointestinal issues, like the laundry list of issues that Behcet's disease itself does is astronomical. Then to take that and put it into someone who has severe autism is literally creating some of the worst conditions in a human body tolerable. Now, for some of you who don't have first-hand knowledge of what an autistic individual is like, let me go ahead and give you a quick TLDR rundown. Personally, my brother, he is severely autistic. He has no speech capabilities whatsoever. So when it comes to autism, and specifically my brother, here are the things that I face that I've seen from him, as well as across the autism spectrum as a whole. He is an individual that is not able to do vocalization whatsoever. So there's already a huge challenge. Imagine right now your voice just shuts off, and unless you are one of those really lucky people that tunes into late night streams where he's up, you'll get to hear, the chew five gum moments of high-pitched, squealing, but that's the closest we've ever come to vocalization. So you're having to learn someone, and what they like, what they dislike, their pains, everything. I mean, imagine going to the doctor and you're not able to say anything to the doctor, and they have to guess what's wrong with you, and they put you through the ringer. The next is sensory dysfunction, which, imagine walking into a store and the bulbs that are above you in the ceiling are high-pitched, like the constant, when you get closer to them you hear the dee. Well, imagine that buzzing sound being amplified 1,000 times over, and that's what that's like. So when we first took him into stores, it was chaotic. He would throw fits, act out, and everything else in a store, and then you're like, what is going on? You have to make yourself acutely aware what might be bothering him, and then all the people talking, tons of noise, shuffling, walking, touching. It's a massive overload. Then, of course, you have cognitive challenges, and that in of itself is a huge challenge. Then you've got repetitive behaviors, which a lot of his repetitiveness is pretty bad. I mean, no matter how much you tell him to clean up or keep something clean, if he's done it once, he'll continue to do it, and you try with all of your might to try and break it, and yeah, good luck. Then you've got physical symptoms, which is sleeplessness, sleeps too much, sleeps too little. Then you've got to wonder if the Behcet's disease doesn't play into one or the other. There's gastrical issues, which only amplifies, Behcet's and vice versa. It's just massive. Then some of the really challenging things with autism is the fact of aggressive behavior, and that is one of the biggest pet peeves I have, because I'm a person that tries to teach gentleness. I'm a person that tries to teach, be really gentle with the cat or dog, and, they will just whew across the room if they had the chance, and it's really difficult. And then the worst case is self-injury. It's really one of the worst things that he does. He likes to hurt himself. Some of the most severe challenges in autism is aggressive behavior, which a lot of people say is rare on a lot of these web pages and magazines and all this other thing, but it doesn't seem as rare when you get into the actual community, get to speaking with other parents, getting to see their schools and whatnot, and then you have an autistic individual in and of itself. Kicking, biting, all these other things, it almost seems like a common thing. It's like a high five or a handshake. It really is a common thing that they'll pick one of the several things for aggressive behavior, and they'll pick. And then comes a horrific issue in and of itself, which is self-injury. And when it comes to self-injury, it's one of those things where he has picked up on the head-banging thing. He likes pain, if anything. He likes to punch his fist and elbow against the wall as many times as possible, and for the longest time tried to deter that and stop that, and no matter how much you either yell or put up things to prevent it or whatnot, it still is something that finds a way. And unfortunately, as of late, he has escalated his issue to new heights of even causing deeper, impactful little more painful self-injury, and it's something that I have tried and tried and tried to take care of, to discourage, to try and change the status quo, and it's something that is just very hard to deal with. And then one of the worst, I would say, is wandering. If you do not keep your door locked, if you have a water source near you, please make sure that your doors, your windows, everything is locked. They will try and test the system repeatedly. One of the biggest things that I can suggest is getting a double-sided lock on your doors where you need a key to go out and you need a key to get in. That is the biggest thing that I can suggest to most parents. The reason that I'm talking about both of these things is, of course, it's something that's pretty big in my life, but also the fact that it's something that is not stopping. As Behcet's has become less extremely rare of where it was one in like several million people to where it's growing, both conditions are something that is starting to steadily grow. And unfortunately, when it comes to R&D, it's something that is poorly lacking. I cannot bold it, underline it, just blow it up. Poorly done, poorly handled, poorly researched. So the reason why I say this is when it comes to this thing right here, which is what I wanted to talk about, CBD. And when it comes to, say, autism, literally up until 2 years ago, there was only 2 doctors working on it, where we were going to take this and give it to autistic individuals. The reason why that only 2 doctors were working on it, and before that was none, is the fact that autism has epilepsy, and can sometimes be in Behcet's as well, and is also epilepsy on and of itself, affects a lot of people. So it's something that was one little tiny bridge connecting several things over here from epilepsy. So, one of the doctors brought the research over and was like, okay, let's start researching with autistic individuals. Another doctor joined in. So we had 2. In 2018, we had 2 doctors working on this. And I have to say, that is shocking to say the least. And still to this day, there are a very small amount of doctors, literally one handful of doctors, working on this very critical issue. So one of the doctors is named Dr. Orwin Nowinski. He is a doctor that started to take products such as this and give it to autistic individuals from the age of 5 years old to 18 years old. And he saw drastic improvement in their conditions. And this is just autism in and of itself. Drastic improvement. And has stated that the minor things that you will get from CBD is far outweighed, even from 5 years old to 18, if not the rest of your life, for a small little amount of how many things that autistic individuals go through. For me, for my longest time, I was one of those people that goes, no, I will not do anything bad. And for the longest time, I thought my doctor was my friend. I thought that their medicine could do no wrong. And as I paid arms and legs amounts of money towards medicine and was guinea pigged and everything else myself for my conditions, I finally woke up one day and I said, I'm going to try something else because none of this stuff is working. And so, ding ding, I started getting into this industry. And I am not shelling out, stating something that I personally have taken for almost a year now, and my brother has taken for well over a month now. Now again, he is severely autistic, and that's one of the things I wanted to get across to you, is just giving him a quarter of a dropper every single day has significantly helped. His list of conditions that I have already stated at the beginning of this video has gone down significantly. He rarely hits the wall. He rarely self-harms, though these things do still occur, and probably his dosage does need to be adjusted. Let's put it this way. To get just one of the medicines that helps with Behcet's is $600. To get just one of the medicines that helps with autism is $250. Then there's the other medicines in there that try and help with this or that and everything else. It costs thousands of dollars a month to try and treat a couple symptoms. And then, by the way, those medicines that they're giving you also have a chance to cause side effects. Now, again, we're dealing with an individual that has absolutely no auditory involvement whatsoever, so you can't give him a pill and say, how do you feel? Well, all of a sudden, my head is on fire. You really can't go to it, so you have to watch him very closely. And it's something that, again, as someone who has done this now for 16 years, you have come to watch his body language, his everything. And so you have to be very, very observant. Now, this individual who has taken his whole entire life, paused it, deleted it, or canceled completely, and made two special needs individuals be my whole world. They are literally the sun. I orbit around them, and I make sure all of their needs are taken care of and that they are focused solely on. So if he starts acting out one way or starts doing something, it cues into a list of things, just be based on behavior and whatnot. So I've kind of taken everything, and this is how it's handled. Now, with this stuff, it has significantly helped things. It's kind of like when you get up in the morning, for a lot of people, you take your vitamins or you take your cup of coffee. He takes a few drops of CBD, and it makes his day drastically improve. The whole purpose of this video is to stress this is an individual who has both of these conditions. That the medical research, as I pointed out, is poorly lacking. They take a lot of drugs for, say, autism, and that they treat mental health patients, and they do all these things, and they throw them at autistic individuals. Literally, I don't know how many medicines that kid has been, they've just thrown at him, and just been take it, see if it helps, take it, see if it puts him to sleep, take it, see if it helps his mood, and then the side effects that it causes. And as a person myself who has taken a laundry list of depression medicines, let me put it this way, no, the pharmaceutical company does not have your best interest at heart. They basically want their money, and a lot of times, depending on a lot of things and what your doctor reports back and whatnot, if your doctor reports back at all about the drugs that they're taking, is if your company will put a disclaimer or whatnot on the bottles. Say, for instance, me, one of the things that I take for my breathing issues and whatnot and to help is singular. Up until recently, there has been a laundry list of side effects, and is one of the least amount of side effects with the drugs in the category that it treats. However, that laundry list of side effects has recently gone up to the point where they need to add a disclaimer on it that says, by the way, may cause horrifically worsening side effects such as depression, suicidal thoughts, all these other things. It's what? And you've been taking this for a while now, for a decade or so. I hope you enjoy that. With that being said, this is something that human beings, before this pharmaceutical company was even a thing, we were taking, CBD, and we were doing things, though it wasn't a extracted thing, but it was something that was plant-based. It was something that for the longest time human beings were using in one way or another for recreation, but it was actually helping to treat a lot of human beings that were actually taking it. And now we've come full circle, right? We've looked at it and we've been okay, it helps a lot of people. Look at this year alone. It is something that actually is going to help you. Just like, caffeine will actually help certain people, certain things, or it may cause a small, some people get a little jittery, but it's like most of those people you ask, well, do you have caffeine often? And they're like, well, no, not really. I drink water. And it's let's start you out with a little bit of caffeine and go and get you a little used to it. We'll go from there. One of the things I want to stress to you is to please research into all of this. It's something that I promise you will change your lives. For you yourselves that don't even have to deal with these two conditions. It's something that if you have someone in your life that suffers from a lot of the things that it can treat, please consider advising them. Try it. You can get samples. You can even go to your doctor now and you can say, hey, I have this issue. I have this medical condition. Let's say you've got arthritis, you've got gout, you've got all these things. And you can go to your doctor now in a decent amount of states, but hopefully it increases more and more and more about, trying medical marijuana. Trying and just ask somebody, do you have some CBD? And just say, can I have a few drops? Let me just see how it feels. And just a few drops at the very least. To say, can I just try it? Hopefully it's something that you find relief from. Long story short, I don't have Behcet's. I don't have autism. CBD is something that has drastically changed my life. It is something that, now the reason why I say drastically is on some days I have horrific depression and it will at least lessen it. It is something that may or may not be that thing that keeps me from leaping off of the edge. And then on some days it may just be, oh man, seasonal depression, man, it sure is cloudy outside and rainy and dreary, and and there are a lot of people who do suffer with that. Just that seasonal depression. This is something that will help you. Regardless what you use, I would like to personally suggest that you try out this brand. This is something that, again, I've been using. My brother, I mean, again, it had to go through me. It had to go through a lot of testing. And again, I used to be one of those people that goes, no, I don't want to. I don't trust it. Arrgh! And yet, I finally, after years of being a guinea pig, I was like, you know what, let's do it. Let's just try it. You know, I started to be more open-minded because I stuck for the longest time about not doing anything besides, your doctor, trust him. Well, you know, yeah, no. Because remember, just like a politician, you've got Big Pharma and their hands are in the doctors, politicians, and everyone else's pockets. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I mean, the reason why I say this about the pharmaceutical companies is, right now to date, there is only one company that is a pharmaceutical company that has taken CBD and said, let us push it out as some sort of relief for only one thing currently, which is seizures. And by the way, it was by a British pharmaceutical company. To this date, most of the pharmaceutical companies go, no, you still need us. And a lot of advocating and whatnot against such things has been going on. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. We've had that same advocating since before pharmaceutical companies had tens of billions of dollars to push it, advertising and whatnot. Let's think about it this way. Back in the day when marijuana and hemp and CBD and everything else was pushed back and it was banned, right before that happened, the pharmaceutical companies had hundreds of thousands to maybe millions of dollars to push for marketing and speaking quietly in politicians' ears and whatnot. So their pockets have got fluffier and fuller, and people are sitting on yachts texting about how no, 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 all while simultaneously it's something that you should probably be taking because most likely it's going to help you. And if anything, if you have looked at a lot of celebrities who have spoken out, and by a lot I mean basically just a handful is more than enough to say, yo, maybe we should consider this. Is it something that may even help prolong your life? I mean, who knows if this may have even any adverse reactions and whatnot, especially with my condition, to say I may get a more prolonged life, or I may not. Basically, at this point, I'm trying anything and everything to help myself, help my brother, and hopefully help you. So again, consider trying it. Consider reaching out to people who just have a few drops to spare or whatnot. And hey, you know what? Let's put it this way. I'm going to hook you up. So let's just say you're really considering this. You're like, man, I've got horrific pain. I've got, you know, even headaches and migraines and inflammation and joint pain and just stomach issues and whatnot. Take a risk and try something. Try what I've been trying. This stuff. There's a link down below. You get a discount. This is not paid endorsement. This is nothing. This is a video that I myself am making personally to showcase the very wonderful benefits of this stuff and how we need to start talking about, we need to start normalizing it. Don't worry, I'm sure YouTube's going to shut down this video like they do about anything that is good, talking about all these issues. This is something we need to normalize. This is something that we need to talk about. This is something that a lot of big creators need to start talking about instead of, you know, how much money they have or what they're going to go ahead and give away or anything. They need to start talking about helping people. It's free. It's literally free. You get in front of a camera, you talk about it, and you try and help as many people as humanly possible. That is literally the point of this video. I wish more creators would do that. I don't know. Hopes and dreams. I'm just trying to be an open-minded individual, sharing my experiences, facts, not fiction, with you, and hoping that some of you will listen. Some of you will especially share this with your friends, your families, your coworkers, or just random internet strangers to get out some help to share with us. So this is all on you. For those of you who reached the end of this video, if this was informative, if this was good, if this was something that you're like, man, you know, you're right, I've tried these products. Not just this company, any CBD whatsoever. If it's helped you, if you know someone that has helped one, get this video out there. There aren't any videos like it. This is something that I'm trying to help the people of this planet, even though humanity really irks me sometimes. I'm trying to still make it better, because if we can make it all better and we can stop hurting both internally and hurting each other, and we can start helping one another and stop hurting one another, we can have a better planet, and I might have some faith in humanity restored. Seriously at this point. Without further ado, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.